Hi there, welcome back to my channel. In this video, I'm gonna talk about my likes and dislikes from Chinese drama Justifiable Defense. So, let's start. I'm gonna start with what I didn't like. So, as I mentioned in the previous video, at the end, I get the feeling that an episode is missing. I understand that it's a Chinese drama and therefore everything leans toward justice and that justice always prevails, blah blah blah. But after that absolutely wonderful conversation between prosecutor Duan Huangshan and Limu Feng, I still think it's extraordinary to have the strength of character to choose to be in full emotional control and to be able to stand in front of someone who wished you harm and to remain calm and willing to understand their point of view, and vice versa, to be the one who wanted to cause harm but still have the strength to calmly explain why. That's clearly something that rarely happens in real life, or like never, because people are usually driven by emotions. So for me, episode 15 was absolutely brilliant in every sense. But I repeat, after that conversation, that revelation from both sides, it just doesn't work. The last lines, when they say that both Limu Feng and Mei Zhang turn themselves in. I mean, she turns back. She finally wanted to leave everything behind, and now she thinks that he, like Limu Feng, wants to confess because he was discovered by the true prosecutors without having any clear or tangible evidence, and out of a moral obligation, perhaps even some feelings, she goes back and confesses too, saying she withheld some information from a case that happened 14 years ago. Like, seriously? I mean, it's already been the statute of limitations. 14 years. She held some information. It's not like she did some, she just didn't say one thing, and even if she did, Limu Feng would probably, I don't know, get more years in prison, but it still wouldn't have changed the course that actually happened. So why? And Limu Feng, to me, it feels like he doesn't want to admit that prosecutor Duan Huangshan was right in his case, and now he confesses as well. Something about it just doesn't add up, and I don't know, what does this mean? That they will go both to prison? I'm not saying no, because what Limu Feng did, he definitely deserves to sit and reflect a little bit on what he did or nearly did, but I don't see why Mei Zhang would confess, and how does that help Limu Feng? And besides, how do you prove that Limu Feng was behind the attempted murder of Duan Huangshan? Since Lim's father is dead, he destroyed the evidence, aka the phone, aka Rupert's teardrop. So what exactly is there left to investigate? How do you prove that he was the mastermind? Like, really, I don't know. Just something doesn't feel complete. It's like I need another episode. It's almost like an unfinished drama, a little bit. I think I don't have closure with it. Then I didn't like the fact that we see in the film scenes something that falls or breaks, and you can tell by the visuals what kind of materials are involved that usually make a lot of noise, but then when you're watching the movie, it's no sound of that, like blank, nothing at all, only the crystal clear voices of the actors. It doesn't feel natural, and definitely I didn't like that. It kind of takes away some of the realism of the moment. I do understand what dubbing is and that it's widely practiced in China, but in some scenes I think it's essential to let the brutal sounds to be heard. Otherwise it feels like you're watching a silent film, I don't know, something like that. So that was very unnatural to me. Then another thing is The endless sound of the rain. Theoretically, the sound of the rain should be calming. Many people sleep on the sound of the rain. Many people sleep better when it's raining outside, okay? But here, through the whole series, it's the same sound, the same intensity, without break, without anything. I mean, I think we can have an intense drama even in the sun. Even when it's light outside, you can still have an intense and serious drama. I get that the rain was supposed to intensify the emotion, and that the ending when the rain finally stops symbolizes that all problems are resolved or cases are finished. But again, it was just a background noise without any dynamic. We do know that the rain varies in intensity during a day. Sometimes there's thunder, especially since it rained for 15 episodes non-stop. It was a little bit annoying. Now to the good parts, in my opinion. First and foremost, definitely I like the story. Yes, the story was interesting. I like how they portrayed these three crimes in parallel, how they differentiated them, and the justification behind them. I like that I was hooked from the very beginning, and I enjoyed the intrigue, the suspense, and the drama. So definitely the biggest like is for the story itself, for the plot. That was good. I also liked how they tried to incorporate art into a drama full of suspense. The glass workshop, the little moments where they explained how glass is made, the exhibition scenes, the glass decor elements, I really liked those, and that's how I learned about Prince Rupert's drop. It was unique. I've also seen this combination of police, crime, investigation, suspense, and art in another series, also Chinese, Under the Skin, with 2 seasons, where it's about facial autonomy drawn by an artist and how you can identify a criminal through facial features. It's a great series. I highly recommend it, watching it. Maybe I even do a video about it because it's worth it. Then I must admit, I was really drawn in by the background music, the cello, the violin, the core music, and soft piano solos. It really carried me into the story. There were a few moments where the emotion hit harder thanks to the music, even though I understand that many people found the background music unsettling, like funeral music, but really I like. Another wonderful aspect, the actors weren't heavily or excessively wearing makeup. Especially the men, they looked almost natural. The women had a little bit of makeup, but it was very tasteful, and the fact that everyone lived in completely normal houses. It was so nice finally to see regular homes with people dressed normally. Nobody was overly wealthy. There were no designer clothes costing almost like a kidney, no huge villas, or no servants. So the action was simply set among normal people. Then one thing that actually caught my attention was the fact that at school children were shown what a trial means, how it unfolds, what it means to present evidence, how the issue are debated. I think that's absolutely brilliant for their educational and information system. I also like to add that the character of the chief captain of the prosecutor, Duan Kongshan, is a character who exudes warmth. He is a chief who gives warm advice and doesn't try to influence others with his opinions, but instead he makes smaller remarks and suggestions. I mean, he is the one who proposed that prosecutor Duan Hongsheng compare Zhang Ting's case with Li Mufeng's case from 14 years earlier. Somehow he's that wise old man main character with the most experience of all and full of warmth. And it's clear that he's respected not only for his place in the hierarchy, but also for the way he behaves and speaks with his subordinates. He gives you the impression that he already saw the big picture, while everyone else is still trying to piece things together. I would want to boss like that. I think everybody would want to boss like that. So, in the last words about Justifiable Defense, I can say, even though it might resemble other, each case is distinct and must be treated as such, exactly as the line from the show that says, "We're not handling a case, but someone's life." So, we ended Justifiable Defense. So, please tell me in the comments below if you liked this drama, what you liked, what you didn't like.